NASDAQ update and auspicious stocks and buy zones, in my opinion. Taking a look at the chart here, first thing that you're going to want to notice, let's look at the hourly chart here. What do we have here, guys? We have a bullish chart pattern. Now, I know today is just fear in the market. It's just everyone's freaking panicking. Yeah, you know how it is. Okay. There's not really a reason for this today besides the yields, the bond yield rates, but besides that, there's no other reason to be selling off this much, and it's crazy the amount of fear that's in the market right now. But anyways, you know, a cool down, fine, cool down day. You know, we've been pushing since the correction bottom, but still, we are closer to the correction bottom than all-time highs, barely, right? So you know, but guys, this is a cup and handle. This is the cup. This is the handle. This is the price target. How do we draw a price target? Did you just pull this out of your rear? This is how you actually draw. All right, you go from the bottom to the resistance level at the top here, the start of the cup and the other side of the cup. Right, that's how you draw the cup and handle price target. So if we were to break this in a couple of days, right, the price target is above all-time highs. Right, so here's all-time highs, and then here's the price target. So we're looking very good. Now, if we look at the 4-hourly, all right, we are right now. Let's get these trend lines out of here. Okay, let's make this a little clear. We got the cup and handle price target is way up there. All right, we've established that. Now as far as short term, right? Obviously, watch if we actually break a little bit up and draw those trend lines back. Draw those trend lines. Make sure, you know, if you want to play the breakout for the cup and handle. But as far as short term, really, like, you know, immediate. Okay, this is what you're going to want to watch. This ascending level, this green level. We have 3 validations on this. We are currently looking to break down. It looks like we're seeing a little bit of a bounce right now. We'll see what happens. But if we break this now, actually, one thing I want to talk about. Okay, are we crashing? Right? Is this a bear market? Is this the start of a bear market, Brandon? Now, as far as the technicals go, if we were to see a bear market, I would have to see a breaking of this trend line right here. Now, why do I pick that trend line? Right? Why not this one? Why not this level of support right here? Right? Well, let's go back here. Right? We've been following this ascending level since the recovery, since COVID. Right? This is the March crash of last year. Right? This is a year ago. So, and this actually acted as a level of support even before then. And if I actually drew that even back more, we probably would have more validations based on how validated it's been in the recent past. So we have per validation there. Okay, we have about 10 touch points on this. I'm not going to go over all the touch points. Okay, you can see there's about 10 touch points. And if we confirm the breakdown there, then I would be willing to say, okay, boys and girls, it's time to start loading up on some puts, you know, a little more puts, a little more shorting. We're in a bear market here. That's not happening anytime soon based on the technicals, right? I think the chance, you know, the likelihood that we even break this $13,000 psychological support plus, you know, it's actually a horizontal rectangular level of support here with several validations, even a resistance validation back here. I think it's unlikely that we're going to be breaking both of these. And in my opinion, this is not justified. This is not a justified sell-off, in my opinion. Short term, I think this year, these next couple of years, it's likely that we do see a bear market coming in it's sometime. But, you know, I think short term, we're looking just fine as far as the stock market. Everyone wants stocks to go up. Everyone's getting in. Okay, we're not going to get into the reasons why, but really this is the main reason why. The internet is just making more and more people. The internet is not there's a ton of access to the internet in the world, but there's so many countries that don't have any access. And as they start gaining access, and even in the U.S., the internet is gaining more and more reach. The more people that discover the internet, the more people that discover investing, the more money that gets poured into stocks. It's pretty simple. And the internet's reach is not at its peak, in my opinion. There's plenty of families and plenty of people and plenty of places that don't have a lot of phones, a lot of laptops, a lot of computers. So as they start to get more of those, the stocks are just going to go up slowly because of that, and that's going to represent a lot of dip buying and just buying of stocks, just inflating stocks right from their current value, in my opinion. So that's and no one talks about that. No one talks about that. It's like well, think about it. You have to have internet to invest, right? So, you know, so as far as some indicators, let's go over some indicators. RSI and MACD. All right, so MACD on the daily. Let's look at the MACD on the daily. All right, so we're still in bullish territory. Daily RSI, relative strength index 46, so we're below neutral now. We are more closer to being oversold than overbought, right? So we're looking fine. The moving averages, we're still in bullish territory. If we were to dip below this support level and below this $13,000 support level, by the way, guys, if we do dip below that 13,000 level, be careful because the only thing that's going to be supporting us is the 4-hourly time frame, 200-day exponential moving average. Really, that's thing that's going to be supporting us. Besides that, it's a free fall straight down to 12,500. So if we do see some, like, if tomorrow is like another 3% sell off tomorrow, that's like, okay, that's a red flag. Okay, do I need to start repositioning? But then again, guys, you don't want to sell low. You don't want to sell low. You want to holding through when things are bad like this, just like back here, right? I kept saying hold through, add on the dips, and obviously, if you did that, then you would have had your chance to sell now. You could sell now, and you'd still be profitable compared to the back then if you were adding on the dip. You could have sold back here. But when we get sell offs like this and just brutal weeks, right? It's a great buying opportunity if you have buying power, right? So it's a good thing, really, in that sense, right? And if you want to hold through, you're guaranteed over the long term if you pick decent stocks to do well, pretty much. Right? And now, there's no guarantee in the stock market, but essentially, you basically are guaranteed. Okay, if you've been doing this for a while, you know what I mean. All right, if you pick a good stock, and you're down 50% or down 20% at the start, right? Yeah, that sucks. That's horrible. But guess what? You hold it for a couple months, a couple years, a couple weeks, even sometimes, right? If it's a really good one, you're in the green if you pick decent stocks, of course. And there's exceptions, of course, as well. So as far as auspicious buys, though, well, okay, let's go over a couple more things, though. Okay, let's do daily Bollinger Bands. So we're going to be seeing some decreased volatility signaled by the hooking end of these bands here. We are trading below the middle Bollinger Band here barely. It is trading at 13.3K. We're trading at 13.1K right now, so that is going to act as a little bit of a resistance if we were to actually see a bounce off this support level, which we are really not seeing, in my opinion. It is a little bit likely that we are going to be seeing some selling off here, but we're not breaking it yet. And as far as the fundamental standpoint, we should be seeing a bounce, but from the technical standpoint, because we haven't got a strong bounce yet, it's unlikely that we're going to see one, out of nowhere, right? Like, oh, now we're going to bounce. We've been at this level for the last 5 minutes, but we're just going to start bouncing now. It's like that typically does not happen, right? Either you bounce or you break it, right? There's not much hanging on that level and deciding and then going up, right? When you do that, it's trying to break down those buy walls, and then it will break down and kill us all from the destruction in the aftermath and all our stocks going down. We were doing great today. My stocks were doing great today. I was up several times on the day, and then obviously Microvision is just completely selling off. Bitcoin was doing amazing. Selling off, all because of the markets, all because of the bonds. Yeah, people are overreacting, in my opinion. But it is what it is. This is what you get with the market. There's ups and downs, and this is what days like these, they separate the men from the boys. In the last couple of days, not yesterday really, but the start of yesterday certainly, and definitely the last couple of weeks and last month or two, definitely. But some stocks that are in auspicious buy zones right now. If I had buying power, it's already gone up. This was down. Jumia was down 15%. Yeah, Jumia is looking very good right now. It was down a little more than it. Obviously, we're finally seeing a bit. The markets are bouncing a bit here. Well, the markets are not even bouncing, but Jumia is. Jumia definitely is. Yeah, so this is an amazing buy zone in my opinion. Let's go to the daily chart so I can show you what I mean. All right, we're literally in a support level right now. Last time we saw that, we did see some short-term bouncing, and then followed by the NASDAQ screwing everyone over, and then we went all the way down to 31. That's when I had my options. I actually bought my options back up here, but they were still up like 50%, 80% at one point. But yeah, I timed the dip, or I timed the top perfectly almost on Jumia. I sold my calls yesterday, or my one call. I sold my call yesterday for a nice profit. I don't know what I was at least like 20% on the green, at least. I think maybe 50%. I don't know, but yeah, I dodged a bullet there. Down 15% of the day. Getting this one is one of the biggest losers on my main watch list today. But that is an amazing buy zone. Go do some due diligence on Jumia. Amazing company, huge potential. So that's number one buy zone, auspicious buy zone today. Number two, I'd probably have to say BioNano and Microvision. I love them, and I love CTXR, right? And I love Mara. But the number one today is actually going to be the number two today is actually going to be Skills. Okay, now this stock is actually, I just got my position in the stock yesterday. I almost sold at the top here, but it is a good long-term hold in my opinion. It is risky, but we are at a support again. This is when I bought yesterday. I timed it perfectly. I was actually going to day trade it, but the thing is, I was going to day trade it and then use my earnings to go into another stock that was beaten down. But since everything was doing good yesterday, I was like, okay, might as well hold. Tomorrow is looking like it's going to be a good day, and it was a good day for a little bit, and then everyone dies. Everyone dies. Yeah, yeah, that's what happened today. But this is the second most auspicious buy zone. In the second most auspicious buy zone, down double digits now. Bio Nano, Microvision, K, everything's in a buy zone right now. Myers, obviously, this is why I took up a position in Myers actually days like these, because Myers is not affected by the broader markets. If you want something that's like safe-ish, safer than these ones, Myers is a good opportunity. It's still in a good buy zone right now. Yeah, it's gone up a ton, and if you watched my last videos, you would have got a way better entry point, but this is still not a horrible entry point. Average monthly stock market returns, 1980 to 2018. All right, this is actually important to look at. We need to look at that. I've been meaning to put this in here. This is actually important. This is something you need to be keeping in the back of your mind when you invest in months like June and August and September. It's like, yeah, do I really want to buy here, or should I wait a little bit? This is basically, this chart should determine a little bit to some extent, and it changes. It's not every year it's like this. Obviously, this is just at the average and the aggregate. This is what you're usually going to be looking at. But this basically, when you have months like these, you should have a lot of buying power on the side at the end of July, because the next 2 months are obviously negative on average historically, right? So have a lot of buying power, and don't buy the first dip. Make sure, wait, because the dips are going to be plentiful in those months, right? And then in months like October, like the end of October, it's like, okay, and the end of September especially, you should not have much buying power on as much as you should compared to the end of the July. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, we're going to be looking at this, and obviously we're in March right now, so this is a load up zone. This is a load up zone. The next 2 months, the next 4 months are good months on average for the stock market. Now, obviously that doesn't mean, okay, it's time to go in. No, this is just one variable. There's 1,000, but there's too many variables to count. As far as the broader markets, there's 1,000. There's 1,000 literally. But this is a good one. This is a very good indicator to keep in mind. Economic calendar. Okay, this is actually really good. You may be wondering, there's nothing tomorrow. What are you talking about, Brandon? What does this mean? Exactly. There's nothing. The stock market loves nothing. It loves nothing. It loves nothing to be surprising, nothing to be, the federal, Jerome Powell 2 days ago on Wednesday, the market was freaking out prior to this, right? It doesn't like big events like this typically. It does like nothing. And next week we don't have any more days where it's nothing, but couple days with very few stuff, so that could be good. But obviously, tomorrow's Friday's selling off, especially at power hour, last couple hours of the day. That is the only bad thing for tomorrow. Everything else, points to a green day tomorrow as far as NASDAQ, but obviously you can't predict it based on just, no economic events. But the technicals do look good in my opinion, and we've gone over the technicals, and they're not looking too bad in my opinion. Current positions. All right, let's just go over here to my account. All right, we're getting absolutely obliterated on the day. We're getting down $700, almost down $800. And this is why I'm not freaking out, though. This is why you shouldn't be freaking out either. We're up 52% in 4.5 months, right? And most of that time, right? I don't have much I was depositing money like consecutively, right? As I earned more money, I deposit more money. It's hard to earn a good return when you have no money, right? Well, it's easy to get a good return, but it's hard to actually get a good percentage return, but it's hard to get a good dollar return, right? You can't make much money on a 100% investment with $1, but you can make $1 million if you have $1 million, if that makes sense. So, but yeah, don't worry, guys. This is how the market is. If you're scared on days like these, just go do something else. Like the bleeding days are part of it. If you're gonna get it to the promised land and start making 52% returns and 50% returns on Microvision, right? And this was freaking 150% at one point when I took profits. Same with Mara. You have to hold through days like these, and you have to, if you're, I wish I held my freaking buying power. I was buying dips today and yesterday, but yeah. Also another buying opportunity. MP Materials Corporation. Oh my gosh, they have earnings coming out at 4 p.m. Central Time, I believe, maybe 3 p.m. think it's 4 p.m. Central Time, after hours, of course. This is going to be good. I think they're going to do very good, but I could be wrong. Of course, I could be wrong. Let's see if we're bouncing it okay. We're just bleeding consistently. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's what we're looking at, guys. Current positions. There you go. Relevant information in regards to the time to finish now. Feel free to click off even before these do this. The power I do stuff most YouTubers do in the first 5 seconds. Merch, that's Patreon. Merch is done. Patreon is done. Link in the description for all of your Patreon needs. YouTubers that you can trust a little bit besides me. Trace Trades, Zip Trader, and Dead Inside. BrandonBalsiad.com, that's where you want to send your serious suggestions and questions. We will link down below. Use that link if you want to get the best broker. There you go. It's free stocks, free money, literally. Our business model is never going to change by into the moon. Stocks only go up. This is pretty funny that I put this in the earlier video, and then right after that, it's like everything started bleeding like an insane amount. Like, that's pretty funny. Yeah, that quote is from some meme on YouTube that I watched. Pretty funny. Stocks only go up, and then I don't know, just day trade, just goes all in on GameStop or something. I don't know. Anyways, it's not financial advice, guys. Thank you all so much. And this is not a recommendation, okay? This is just a funny quote. This is not an actual. Okay, take some advice from this quote. No, please don't take advice from this quote. You good luck if you think stocks only go up, right? Anyways, yeah, not financial advice, guys. Thank you all so much. I'll see y'all in the next one.